All right, Michigan Wolverines, 10-6 last year, finished second in the Big Ten. Here's a team that only won one game the year before, and they really turned it around. They went back to the veteran quarterback in Nolan, and I think it paid off. Um, they had a lot more, even though he struggled at times, especially in the playoffs. I think they were a lot more consistent on offense and more explosive on offense this year than they were last year with the young quarterback. Um, with that said, I don't think they're sold on either of them, and that is nothing, and that's pretty clear when you look at who they picked with their first pick. They took the FCS transfer Raymond Levine. Here's my favorite quarterback in the draft. I would have to say he was like a guy I really liked. Despite his high volatility of 82, I just think he has um, the most talent right off the get-go as anybody. Maybe not the big arm that some of the other guys have with only a 70 arm strength, but I think with his accuracy and his current already at sitting at 67, um, I liked his release a lot. 95. I think that he's gonna be able to get rid of the ball before the blitz gets on him. Um, Better fumble. This is an overlooked category, and Nolan was a big fumbler. He's got a really low fumble, so having a guy with 60 fumble might not seem a lot to a lot of people, but that I know that Slippery had to look at that and smile because that's something that until you have a quarterback with low fumble, you'll never realize how important that attribute is. Um, Another thing that I didn't like was his field vision, even though I don't think it's a game breaker for me. He just doesn't have the great field vision as some of the guys, but I do like his mobility, great scrambler, um, and he's just a disciplined guy. And I think that he can be very successful in this offense because they've got a lot of speed outside and some weapons. And so I think that this was a solid pickup despite the high vol. And in the second round, they went with the tight end. It's like tight end is real popular now with this new code, and you saw a lot of tight ends, a lot more tight ends than in previous years go in the first couple rounds. And Zach Gentry is one that's similar to some of those guys that he can play in line because he has blocking skills, and he has really soft hands with a 96. And bump and run avoidance, which is really key because he's going against linebackers that don't have good bump and run. So that's 87. I like that. Good strength and acceleration. Unfortunately, he just doesn't have that breakaway speed to get. He'll probably still get on top of guys just because of his bump and run avoidance. But if he makes a catch in the open field, he's probably not going to take it the distance like some of the faster guys would. So that 63 speed is going to hold him back just a little. But I do think that he'll be a weapon to add to this offense that they were lacking in the past. And so I really liked that pick. I thought it was a smart move. Sloth went ahead and gave them a B grade, whereas I thought it was a little bit better. I know that Sloth wasn't as high on Levine as I was. I thought they did well being able to get two offensive weapons for the future to build around, and so I gave them a B plus. And I think Michigan is setting themselves up. I'm not sure if they're going to go with Levine this year or not. We'll see how it shakes out, but I do think that Michigan is trying to build for the bigger picture rather than just the now. And we'll see how it goes. But I thought they did well in this draft.